Hello, hello, hello. I don't know if anyone's here yet. If you are here, let me know if the audio sounds okay. Do. Let's see, two people here. Should probably Alt Tab so I can see the chat. Come on. Oh, hey, there you go. I lost the chat window for a second. I'm gonna get the webcam up in a second. You'll see the setup in a moment. You'll understand why I'm like struggling for like a second here. All right, here we go. Where'd my mouse go? Here we go. Oh, hey, Kirby. Alright. Hi! A bit of a different setup. I'm at my table, so I'm running everything from my computer. It's over, like, there, which who knows if we'll find that to be a bad idea. But I have, like, my little monitor here, and I have OBS and the chat here. And I was trying to Alt-Tab between the two, and I lost a window along the way, but let me do a capture card and webcam, and I think we fixed the delay that we were having before, so that's cool. Oh yeah, if you haven't heard, this stream is gonna be tearing down this light, and I can already tell I'm gonna have to move my camera. So the video light that I've already modded to run off a wall wart, where is the frame? There we go. Is actually casting light on the table right now. And this is my second one that runs on batteries. Like the batteries are fine and like it works for most people, but I hate when the batteries are running low, and I don't like to have to like think about it, and I don't like the investment in AA batteries. It just feels really wasteful. So I just want to get it on the same mod that I did with the other lights, and I can just have two wall-powered lights. Need to learn OBS eventually. Yeah, OBS it's really intuitive. Like it really is. I like it a lot. I like it even just for general screen recordings. Like if you ever see a screen recording of my video, I did it with OBS. So yeah. But first I just want to talk real quick. I did like a remix of the Low Poly cat by Andrew Sink on Thingiverse, because I really like the cat, and it just so happened that Maker's Muse released a video about using like Mesh Mixer to like change up low poly models, so I kind of wanted to try this one effect, and I did, and it printed, and I was able to print this one about supports, which was quite exciting. And I just saw that Andrew printed it too in orange. I didn't mean to gender the cats. I love pink, and then I hadn't printed in blue in a while, and then I realized it looked like I was doing like a weird baby shower thing. But anyway, so he printed in orange. I just saw. I got home like 30 minutes ago, and I was trying to get this set up, or I have the light having to come down to give light to my my main camera to do the table shot. It was really washing out the webcam, so I was trying to like adjust that too. But I mean, I was only like 7 minutes late. Not too bad. But so this is up on Thingiverse now. If you want to try printing it, about supports. This one, the pink one, was the first one, the OG, and I printed it with supports because I didn't know what would happen, and where like I work all day, I only get so much time at night to print. So if I'm not sure about something, I like to be a little bit extra cautious. So removing the supports out of this was pretty heinous, but it worked. I only broke 2 of the lines, one at the tail and one here. And I am going to do a quick video on this model just to kind of show how easy it is to do this. I know Maker's Muse just did it to show it easy, but I just want to further demo how easy it is. Like, this literally took me like 10 minutes to do, and we got a cat! We got a Winnie Boo! My cats are going to be running around like crazy during the stream, I'm pretty sure, because today, yesterday I got a call from my landlord, and they were like, oh, we need to replace the fire alarms in your unit today. And I'm like, they asked me if I was going to be home, and I wasn't. They're like, well, it's the only day the guy can come, and you really need him to have him changed, blah, blah, blah. And, like, stuff like that really stresses me out, and I know I have the full right to say, no, I want to be home and stuff, but I just said, yeah, sure, go ahead. And so my cats had a rough day as a result, and they are not happy. And when I got home, there was, like, plaster all over my floor, and like chunks of wire, and they're definitely new. They're definitely new alarms. I see them, which is nice. You know, I like knowing that I'm not gonna like die in my sleep because a fire alarm doesn't go off. You know, that's nice. But I did notice there's a sticker on the side of the alarm that says like install date, and there's little slots to put in the date, and they didn't write anything in. So that couple points off for that. And they left like my lights on and stuff. I don't want to sound rude, but I don't know. Someone comes in your home when you're not home, you kind of expect it to be kind of left how you left it. So my cats are a little freaked out. So they're gonna be running around, especially Winnie. That's how she kind of deals with her stress. But yeah, I just want to talk about the cats and my actual and in real life cats as well before we get rolling. Also, to add to the kind of remoteness, this is my like portable keyboard mouse that I use with Raspberry Pi. I have that hooked into my PC. That means I also have like 2 mice and 2 keyboards hooked in. There hasn't been a conflict yet though, so we'll see. But let me switch to just webcam so I don't get you guys seasick. I'm going to readjust the camera so that the light's better in the shot. Yeah, I'll zoom out. I also am doing something funky with my tripod right now to get it to at this height. That'll work. That'll do. Use it same one at work. Same what? The toolkit? The toolkit? Let me go back to both. Make sure nothing's conflicting. Okay. I'm gonna move me. You don't really need to see me during this. That's unnecessary. The only reason why I started using like the webcam is because like when I'm watching a stream, I do like to like see the person. So I guess you might want to see me, but that feels really weird to say. Like, I don't know. I have a lot of conflict with the like vanity involved in putting myself on video. Like it feels very odd. But so if you don't have an iFixit toolkit, you should get one. It's really handy. It's come in really handy for a variety of projects, not just for this channel, but just like in life. I've also used it at my job too. I work in tech. Sometimes you gotta take stuff apart. So maybe a little bit more about the light. This is the light. It is a monoprice light. Are we in focus? looks okay, I think. Green screen would be nice. I agree. For me, it only works seeing the person. I agree, yeah. If you ever find, like, my first, like, 1 or 2 streams I did, you don't see me at all. I'm just a voice. I'm just a voice. I don't know. It feels it kind of feels weird to me. Where's my screwdriver? It's not here. Where did it? I had to use it for my soldering iron to change the tip. And then I put it... I think I know where it is. Give me like 1 second. I promise it won't turn into me looking for the notebook like last time. Aha! Yep, okay. I had it in my box that I keep my soldering gear with because I was changing out the tip, and this one bit is perfect for it. Actually, I just want to talk about one other project. So this is the NeoPixel dialer, which I talked about before. It's probably better to have it here for you to see. As you can see, I soldered it up and it looks pretty cool. But if you follow me on social media, which both people in the chat I know do, put the wrong feather board in, and I just put a feather M0 board, not a feather M0 Express. So I couldn't get Circuit Python onto it, obviously, but it took me like 45 minutes of trying to get software onto it for me to realize. Like, I went through, hello, Dampier Zero, I hope I'm saying your handle right, but hello. So this means I wired this up, I soldered it, and I troubleshooted it for like 45 minutes before I realized it was the wrong board. And when I realized it was the wrong board, I literally just like stared at this for like 10 minutes and was just, my brain just went like, no. Can put circuit, really? Cause I couldn't get it to show up as a drive. I could only get Arduino IDE to see it, cause I was even trying to use Moo, and it wouldn't see it. Like I couldn't get to put the bootloader on it. But if that's true, that'll save me so much work, cause my next point was gonna be, I would have to like desolder all this, and I'm really bad at desoldering. Like I'm awful at it. I'm terrible. Oh, the Bosac! Ah, okay. I didn't know that. Thank you so much. Oh my god, you just saved me so much work. Oh, that's such good news. Oh my god, that's amazing. That's so good. I'm sorry to maybe sound like over enthusiastic, but I'm serious. That's awesome. Oh man, thank you. Okay, so this might not be a total lost cause, but I guess the moral of the story is pay attention to what board you're ordering. Don't be like me and just go, oh yeah, I need this, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, okay, cool, great. Thank you, Kirby. So now that we've solved 2 crises, where is my screwdriver? And I feel like this angle is still not good because the keyboard's like here with half a cat on it. I'm sorry if that grosses people out. And maybe it'll be okay. I will try my best to, oh, the battery is gonna die in my camera. I'm so good at streaming. I'm gonna change the battery. I'll stay around for that because my other battery's over here. Yeah. Oh, if you hear me say anything in a high-pitched voice like yeah during this stream, but like really high, it's because I'm talking to Winnie. She meows a lot and she expects someone to say something back to her. You know, you shouldn't be rude to her. She's a good little girl. And as I said, she had a rough day. So now I'm going to have to refocus this. But this is a fresh battery, so that's good. I used to only have one battery, and it was bad. I think it basically kept the settings, so let me switch back. Yeah, okay. Now we should be able to get, I'm gonna throw this in the charger real quick. Yeah. Oh! Go girl. Go girl, yeah. Little Harriet. Alright. Okay. Yeah, it was actually the dot star that alerted me to like, wait, something's wrong. Because I first looked up, like, what do you do if CircuitPython's showing up as a drive? And it was, and like that does happen, so that's why I thought something was wrong with the board at first. And then I was looking at the picture on the guide and I was like, wait, that doesn't look like my board. And then that's when it like bonked me on the head. So, and you know what, so I've been going on Adafruit show and tell. And first let me show you what I'm doing before I get into story time, because what I'm probably going to be doing is like waxing poetic while doing this and like also talking about what I'm doing. The first step to get into this light is you need to take out these little like felts thingies. I can probably come in closer. There we go. That's pretty decent. These little felt thingies are here, and they're covering the screws, so you kind of pry those out, and then you can get the screws out. So I'm going to Adafruit show and tell recently, which is cool, and I was gonna go on this week and talk about how I like messed up my project, but then I thought, like, you know, there's a pretty big queue for that to get on there, and for me to like take a slot talking about how I messed up a project when there are people who have like legitimate projects like done that they want to show off, it felt kind of like icky. So I decided like last minute, like, I'm not gonna do that. So I can go on, but if I had gone on and said on stream like, oh, and so I couldn't use CircuitPython, they would have probably been like, oh wait, you totally can, you dingus, and I would have been like, oh wow, cool, and that could have saved me some stress. But oh well, oh well. Thank you, Kirby. Not sure about the LCD. The other OLED text part doesn't work like it does on the Express. Oh, that might still be a problem. We'll cross that bridge. We'll cross that bridge. I just want to try it at this point. This is in there. The sticky seems to have really kept it in there. Alright. I mean, that's fine. So there's like a little parts tray that comes with the screwdriver, so I'm able to put it, it's kind of off camera right now, but I'm putting them all in there. This is the diffuser. And then you've got a nice LED array that's in like this kind of, almost like what you'd cook a turkey in, you know, in the oven. It's nice. And so I put in the description for this stream the Hackster.io write-up I did for this project when I did the mod the first time, and also like I did a couple of videos about it too, like the original Teardown where I just like saw what was inside, and then also like the process of modding it. And the reason why I am now streaming that, despite having really gone over these lights in detail, is I'm kind of seeing it as like a practice for teardowns, because I've done it before, so I'm more than likely not going to have any surprises unless I drop the screw in the light array. So like just kind of getting more used to streaming. and the workflow. And this is the first time I was doing this setup where I'm not just sitting at my desk. So yeah, so then you have the LED array that you pull out, but you have to be careful because it's attached. And so it's attached just with power and ground to the power board here. Make sure you can see that. So the power board here, and then it's just a simple power circuit with some caps and such. And that also comes out with a screw here. It's like really easy to get into, which is nice. Alright, and there's a second screw. Come on. Come here. I can lift this out now, I think. That's screwed. I just dropped the screw into the lights. So there's these like ribbon cable connectors, and that's how. So power is coming from here, and this board, deeper inside the light, that's where all the switches connect. There's a screw. So you can adjust the brightness on here with this, and this is the power button. That's a test button that'll quickly dart through, so that's what this board is, and there's a little microcontroller for that. So there's, let me see, I'm going to use the tweezers to pull out those connectors. Use the tweezers to pull out those connectors. Or I'll just yank them out, because I think that's what I did last time. I was just trying to do best practices on stream, but you know, it's Friday night. I hope everyone had a lovely week, despite the less than fantastic news cycle we are in the United States. I hope the rest of the world is doing better, although I know South Africa lost their leader, though, you know, it sounds like that might not be a bad thing. I know that it wouldn't be the worst thing to see that in another country that I may or may not be living in. But yeah, interesting week. Okay, I just remembered. There's like this sticky tape on the other side of this board, so getting it out does take a little bit of finessing. And then this is like insulation, because there's wires here. You can use these lights with rechargeable lipos, but they're very specific size, and I did not have them. And I've got to be honest, I'm not the biggest fan of lipos. I'm just gonna put this tape on the side here. I don't want to sound like a technophobe, but they kind of freak me out with how they can be a little bit unpredictable if it's not like perfectly set up. And yeah, that's why most of my projects I just power off USB. I also don't like having to worry about batteries and whether or not they have enough of a charge. Oh, you know what? Maybe if I take the last screw out, the board will come out a lot easier. There are 3 screws on this board. Wow, this one's in tight. It's a little bit fatter. Okay. You might. So there's like a clip that goes over here. You can actually see the board like through the bottom there. I don't know if I can really get a good angle on that though, like this, but it's like right in there. Okay, there we go. If my memory serves me right, There's also a little circuit for the button underneath here. Ah, there we go. I don't know why they have, well, I guess I do know why they have the tape, but it's a little bit overkill, so I don't want to snap anything. See, I'm remembering, like, the first time I took this apart, it was, like, not on camera. So, and then, like, for the teardown for the video, that was, like, my second teardown, and then the teardown to actually, like, rep it, to, like, mod it, rather, was the third, so the tape had already, like, lost its initial stickiness. So the buttons are just these little, like, that you press, are just these, like, plastic things, and then there's surface mount, like, buttons on the top. Let me see if I can. I should use autofocus. Hold on a second. I don't use autofocus when I film normally, so that's why I forget to turn it on for the stream, but that definitely improves things. For streaming, it's definitely helpful. Okay, so yeah, this is just the little button, and then the board is just these surface mount things. Okay. And then these other buttons stayed in, but it's the same kind of mechanism. All right. So this is basically like the main circuit. This stuff is all the, let me zoom out a little bit. This stuff's all the battery things, and we don't need that. I'm gonna warn you now, if there is gonna be a moment in this process that is less than ideal for your ears, and that's when I yank out all the AA battery stuff. It's rough, and it can make kind of some scraping noises, so if you're not a fan of that, you might want to mute the stream during that time. So this is just taking out the battery contacts here. So they pull right out. You can just kind of push these out, if I recall correctly. I might not recall correctly. Or I might need something to kind of budget more. Like where this part's never going to be reused again, I can kind of destroy it without too much of a consequence. I also want to say I snipped these last time. I probably should have, like, looked back over the stuff. Yeah, I totally snipped these. Okay. I've got snips. I do have my flush snips. 1 second. Okay. Oh, why not connect to the battery terminals if you're a wall wart? Are you having fun taking it apart? Well, that's a good question. It is fun to take apart, but what I actually do to connect it up is I have a lamp wire. So 6 AA batteries and convert. No, it's not. It's 9 volts, and so we're able to use it as a 9-volt wall wart. And because it's just basically a straight circuit. It's very simple. So it's what I'm doing basically is like it's lamp wire, and I solder that to this board, and I have that run out the back of the lamp, and then I have a DC jack that I solder to the correct terminals on the lamp wire, and then I put some heat shrink and then just connect up the 9 volts power supply to it, and we are good to go. I've been doing it with this light for almost a year now, and it works great. In the beginning I did check to make sure there was no overheating or anything like that. I made sure there was no voltage jumps, and it's fine. It's been working good. So figured why not bring it on with another one. So I'm just snipping off these. Okay, I do not need them anymore. And it actually went a lot faster than I remember it. Let me just pull these out. So, now is the time that these things come out. Like I said, there might be some unpleasant sounds with this part. I'm also going to be making some probably like aggressive faces, so I apologize for that as well. But it must be done. And the reason why these have to come out is so that nothing gets like shorted, because there's no like switching on here. Like everything's active when the light's on. So let's see. Last time I really like dug in, but I'm curious if I'll be able to just yank it. I won't. Last time I think I broke out the plastic. Like this does not look neat afterwards. I wish I didn't like need that light to be able to properly light the shot. But you just have to get them out while not breaking any of this. I mean, I could just resolder it. Still, you know, minimal damage would be nice. Spudger. Use a spudger, sure. Nope. I think I might have, oh, that's right. I'm remembering, these are bent up, so. Like, there's just a glob of solder onto one of the pins for the batteries, like for power and ground, and that's just how it's going through. Oh, that's right, so I think I do disconnect. Yeah, and then I connect down there. I'm remembering now. It's like a very simple light, but it definitely gets the job done with 2 of them. I was thinking the other day, like I used to legit not use any lights. And I mean, I'm sure as you can imagine, my footage looked just fantastic. I actually kind of, I feel like everyone does, but I really cringe when I look at my old videos because yikes. Even ones from like a couple months ago, like I'll just look back and I'm just like, oh, why? Why? So now that it's up a bit, I should be able to spudger it a bit more. I just got my thumb pretty good. That's a great thing about doing things live. Just gonna take a moment. Ow. Yeah, this part sucks, but I don't want to short anything. I don't want these terminals just hanging out. And I looked up to see if there were like other better options, but it doesn't seem like there's an easy way to get these out. That's gonna be a blood blister. Okay. That's probably why you shouldn't get your hands in the way of using tools when you're exerting a lot of force. I wonder if I do this. Oh, I just pushed it back down. I'm also just not on camera with the thing. Sorry about that. Feel free if you notice the light get out of the shot to say something in chat, because sometimes you can get really into the process and just not even notice that something's not in the shot. That happens to me when recording a lot. That's why I've been really loving the GoPro, because you can just kind of set it and forget it nice and wide and then just zoom in and post. Oh, hey, here we go. Right out. See, when it comes out, it's nice and smooth, but it's just getting that friction out. And breaking the plastic things or holding them in is almost as much effort as just pulling out the battery header. So. I wonder if I can push this down. I'm trying to push the lead down to see if I can kind of budget out better that way. But I think it's just gonna bend on me, yeah. It's just gonna bend. Now I'm gonna cut it, because otherwise it's not gonna come out at all. There we go. So I don't speak Spanish fluently, but I can kind of infer that there's something wrong with the video quality based on your message there. It's looking green on my end. It says all good. If anyone else wants to say in the chat. Let me see how many people are watching. That could be a good indicator. There are 7 of you. My thing shows green, that it's an okay quality, but I have known YouTube to kind of tell the streamer that it's okay, but then people watching have a bad experience. I just scratched myself again. So let me know. I can maybe try to dumb down some settings. I don't like this part at all, but it's coming out. Name's probably good here. Color's fine here. Oh no, don't apologize, dude. That's your language. And I got what you were saying, so it's all good. I mean, we're close. I can feel it. It's fuzzy. I just did an autofocus. Maybe it was a little autofocus. I'm gonna be curious to see if my cats start like really running, because they're kind of walking together, and that's usually a signal that they're gonna start kind of going nuts. Is it getting caught on the... I think the tab was getting caught. Trying to break the plastic tab too. Oh, that actually twisting like that kind of got it out. A bit more. Haha! This might like make some people cringe a little bit. It kind of reminds me of like pulling out like teeth. Not that that's a pleasant experience, but I get like I've mentioned I work at a school before, and there's a lot of like science classes, so I see kind of a lot of gross videos and stuff. So sometimes the analogies I come up with are not pleasant for a lot of people, and I've honestly gotten to the point where I don't notice that I'm saying something gross, because it's just become like so natural for me to be like, oh yeah, that kind of looks like a necrotic foot, like, and yeah, it's not normal. Oh, that popped right out. Actually, in my interview, one of the questions they asked me was like, do you get squeamish? Like, legit. I don't really, which is good. I actually do work with some people that do get squeamish, and they don't always have the best time where I'm at. Oh no, I'm still at the school. It's just, it's a science-focused school, so. I mean, it's a job. I do like the people I work with. I do sometimes wish it was a little bit more mentally stimulating. But that's why I do this. It's gonna take a second. This is like a workout. No, I'm a tech person. I help the instructors do like more technical things in the class. So like if they have like a big PowerPoint with like a lot of features in it, like videos and stuff. I make sure that's working. There's like specialized software they can use, and I make sure like that's okay, and I'll like train them on how to use it, and then I sit in the class to make sure everything goes smoothly, and if something goes wrong, I run up and help them, and I also like sit there the whole time hoping nothing goes wrong. So it's a cool job. Like it's nice. I mean, I went to school for music tech, and I don't know why I have a vendetta against my left hand tonight. And media production, and I was really scared the entire time that I wasn't going to be able to get a job. So, and then I found out there's all this stuff in education that you can have like a full-time job. And so yeah, come here. I do talk to things while I'm tearing them apart, and just to try to like encourage it, you know, to work with me. Close on this one. It's like halfway up. Keep going out of frame, I'm sorry. That's one thing I like want to get better at, is like knowing when I'm out of frame, or like being more conscious of the camera. Ha! Oh, so run away. Got it. I have to be like really conscious of where all the components go because of the kitties. That was the main reason why I was like mad that there was plaster on my floor when I got home. Because like I know that they don't care that I have cats, but like that is the kind of thing that my cats go for, and I just hope they didn't go after anything while they were unsupervised. I'm sure they didn't, but after I picked it up, Winnie was like, "Ooh, what's that? I want to see that." So we've got one side out, carved out there, and then taking out this row. There's 3 of them, and then actually the teardown will be done. Oh, I doubt they had a vacuum. I've also been told like they had to fix. I've got like a porch thing. It's not even. It's like you kind of like step out on it. And there's a little closet, and that's where my like hot water heater is. And I had a leak over the summer, and they needed to come fix it. I didn't know there was a leak. They told me after they did inspections like a couple days later. And so it was like the day before they were coming to do it that they called me, kind of similar to like what happened with the fire alarms, and I couldn't take off work, so I was like, well, I have 2 cats, like, can you just have the door closed while you're working? And they told me like, well, that's not our responsibility to make sure your cats don't get out. And I was like, oh, okay, cool, thanks so much. So I actually I crated them for the day, and they were not pleased, but I had to because I didn't trust little Winnie Boo. Mainly Winnie. Harriet will hide. Harriet will hide from anything. Most of my friends have never even met Harriet, but Winnie's very curious, and she will get curious about strangers and want to like chat with them, see if they'll rub her. So yeah. I don't know, it's not like the worst place to live. Like, I like my apartment, and I can afford the rent, which is a very important feature to have. but I've been here 4 years. And there's just certain aspects that just get old after a while. Just calling me like the night before to get into my unit. So our sifting technique. You had to choose the parrot photo you identified with the most? Oh my god. That's a new one. I'm curious what parrot you did identify with the most. I kind of want to know. I kind of want to see what parrot I identify with the most. Come on. I'm sorry if this is boring. I did realize that, like, after I started, like, this might not actually be entertaining. This might not actually be fun to watch. Mainly this part. Where we jab at bits of metal. But I appreciate you all being here. On a Friday night, or Saturday morning, depending where you are. Why? Wonder if I leave the spudger in there and twist. Like, what kills me is, oh, this is working really well, actually. Hey. What I was about to say is each piece comes out differently. I've yet to use the same technique more than once on here. But that just worked really well. I wonder if I finally figured out the ideal method. I get the spudger back here. I mean, that definitely makes sense from a physics perspective. Ah, yeah. And then I shimmy it. Oh my god, was it that easy the whole time? I feel like I just figured out a puzzle in like a RPG. Like, oh, just get the magic potion, then go up the tree, and then you're out. Urgh. That's definitely coming out. Come here. Come on. Ah! Ah! It sounds like I'm playing tennis. Yep. So close. I thought about also streaming on Instagram, but I don't, like, at the same time, but I hate that Instagram has to be vertical. Like, people can turn their phones, but the chat still comes up vertically. And then, like, if I'm using my back camera, then I can't see the front. It's the whole thing. And I don't really like phones. There's actually two pieces of technology that I just don't really understand the hype about. I mean, I understand that I have to, like, use it, and I do use it, but I can't get excited about, like, new version of it. And that's smartphones and cars. I got nothing. I've got nothing. Like, I rocked an iPhone 4 for like 5 years, and then I just got iPhone SE a bit ago because it's basically an iPhone 4. Because I can't with the big screens and the finger thing. No. I'm also a bit paranoid about privacy. They had parrot photos on the floor in different positions. I had to choose the one with the hammer and the computer to show that I like to fix stuff. Wow. Like, I can tell by your tone that this was, like, a very, like, anger-inducing thing for you, but I have to admit I'm fascinated by this. Mainly because I'm fascinated by corporate, like, nonsense to the point that I actually like expressed my disdain for some corporate nonsense at work this week, and despite not being in corporate lands, I got like weird pushback, and yeah, I don't know, this like semantics like that, and like how people act, and like what companies think are like good ideas for morale and things. Like I don't understand. It's like if they just acted like, you know, it's human beings working with other human beings for other human beings, I feel like everything would go a lot smoother. And I hope that made sense, because I was trying not to be too specific about what happened with me this week. But it added to the oh-so-fun times that we were having. We're so close. I think if I could wedge this part up a bit more. I have not seen that show. Do you know if it's available to stream anywhere? Because I do not have the cable. I did try one of those terrible, cheap, over-the-air antennas, and I got, like, nothing. But I wasn't surprised, because it cost me, like, $7. Sometimes the Comedy Central stuff's on Hulu, because Broad City's on Hulu. I love Broad City. It's on their site. You need to. You know, I don't know that I know anyone with cable that would give me a login. I'll keep an eye out though, because their stuff usually streams somewhere eventually, or I can find ways to stream it. Let me see if I can get in the view. Like, it's so close. I just need it, like, literally, like, a centimeter more, and it'll be out. It's so, like, it's weird, because you look at them, and you don't think they're that wedged in there. But they totally are. And very frustrating. And like I've been shimmying with these. I think I just got it. At least on one side. Like I've been shimmying with the pliers on these plastic bits this whole time, and they have not broken. Like the plastic, I will say, on these lights is very thick and a nice quality. Because one other thing I'm gonna have to do, and I'm not going to do it on stream, because I want to do it outside, is last time I used like a really janky knife to cut a hole out, and it was bad. I'm going to use a Dremel this time, and I'll yank the tabs out and do a hole. And you know, I should like try to 3D print a quick like cover to go around the hole so it's not jagged, because my beautiful solution for the light I did before is to, you know, line with electrical tape. Because sometimes I'm a little bit too DIY with stuff, but it works. If you look at the original like video though for it, there is a comment with someone leaving me a nice essay on how it could have been better. Aha! Oh my god, the spudger just like flew over my monitor and it was horrifying. I feel like I'm doing a good Tim the Toolman Taylor impression from what's that show even called? Home Improvement. I'm doing a good impression of that tonight. I'm just gonna take a second because there's one more left. I need to like brace myself emotionally. I'm getting like flushed. Oh god. It was a pretty stupid human resources trick. And yes, the company is the equivalent of Verizon. Aha! I got you. Yeah. Yeah, it's a good thing I have safety glasses. I am taking all the precautions, all the proper things. That's true, I do need more power tools. I want like a drill so bad. Whenever I have to use one, I have to borrow it. I have like 2 people I borrow from. Both of them get so mad when I tell them what I'm doing, because it's usually something that they would like never do, because they're both woodworkers, like through and through. Like they have never touched electronics or anything like that. And when I've told them like why I'm borrowing it, they just stare at me like, "You're what?" And if I don't return it like that day, I start getting like angry calls like, "Where's my drill? Where's my drill?" So, but it's nice of them to let me borrow it, because otherwise I wouldn't have one. I'm gonna reach for the spudger. Haha. Okay, the tab's out straight. This is the last one, guys. This is the last one. I've at least got a technique that like works now. I mean, it's a little too late. This is the last time this is probably happening, but rigid tools come with lifetime warranty. Battery also Home Depot, I think. Oh, that's good to know. Part of my issue why I haven't invested in one is honestly like I don't have the space. Oh my god, this one's coming out like butter. Like it's just coming right out. Cool. So. Also, the reason why I haven't invested in one is I don't have the space to, like, use it constantly to, like, make it make sense for me to invest in one. Like, using a drill here would not be great. I actually have a space where I'm able to, like, solder. So now it's actually one of the people that I borrow a drill from. It's their workshop, and when they're not working in it, I have a little corner. I can sit up there and solder. That's where I've been soldering, because before that I soldered outside on my mom's porch. And as the cold weather was coming, I was realizing that was a terrible idea. I was having literal cold solder joints. The breaking point for that, here's a little story. The PVC pipe menorah, if you saw that project, I did all the soldering, I did it outside, and I was getting so cold at the end that I did it kind of quickly, and I ended up having a short when I put it all together. So I needed to resolder it. So I went over there after work to my mom's porch, and I was soldering, and I could like see my breath because it was like in the 20s Fahrenheit, so below freezing, and it was heinous. Like it was, and while I was doing it, I was like, I can't keep doing this. I can't. I need to find a space. So like right after that, I asked this family member if I could use some of his space, and he allows it. He's a little freaked out by the idea of solder fumes. I've tried to tell him it's okay, but he's a little paranoid, and also he is always asking me like, do you turn your iron off? Like, it's off? Like, you're not gonna cause a fire. I got wood over here. I'm like, yeah, I know. Pegboards. Pegboards are great for small spaces. That is a good idea. I love pegboards, actually. They're always so cute, and I love when people outline their tools on it. It speaks to me on a deep organizational level. It really does. And I remember you sent me a picture of your space, and it looks super cute. Yeah, I mean, honestly, a goal of mine in the next, like, year or two is to buy a small, I always say, pardon my language, shitbox. I just want to find a small shitbox to live in, that I'd be able to afford. Real estate's pretty expensive where I am, but you can get small, tiny places for fairly affordable, so that's a goal of mine. Messed with the Tinkerboard lately. Why, yes, in fact, it's right over there. Let me grab it. I like the Tinkerboard. I think it gets a bad rap. I'll admit. Actually, there's a flash drive in there that Let me switch to the webcam because, oh no. So Tinkerboard. People call it a Raspberry Pi killer, but I don't think that's really true of any board, to be honest. I don't think anyone can kill the Raspberry Pi. Like, anyone who says that is like really ignorant to what makes the Tinkerboard. Hey there, Kenji. Everyone who like says there's a such thing as a Raspberry Pi killer, honestly, I feel like yes. I like it. I like Tinkerboard. But what makes the Raspberry Pi great isn't the board. And actually, I have a Pi right here. Like, the board's cool. But what makes the Raspberry Pi great is the foundations, what they do. Let me autofocus real quick. It's what they do with schools, it's what they do for education, it's what they do for open source, it's what they do for the community and the resources and all that. That's what makes the Pi great. They've been doing that for, is it almost a decade now? It's a long time, put it this way. Like, longer than like these other single board computers have like invested in. And so for a board to come in with like same form factor and like higher specs and say, oh, it's a Raspberry Pi killer, they're missing. I feel like people are missing the point of like what makes the Raspberry Pi great. Oh, chat just like blew up. It definitely needs more software support, absolutely. It has improved, I'll give it that, and people are starting to do builds like Laka. Is it Laka or Laka? If someone could put phonetically for me, that'd be, I would appreciate it. I've used that. That's actually the build I have it on here. And it works really well, and as that stuff starts to come out, like, that's gonna be awesome. Yeah, and like I feel like the Tinkerboard, like, you get it for different reasons than you get the Pi, and chances are if you get a Tinkerboard, you have a Pi. So I see it as like a step up. I think it's an awesome board. I think it has a lot of potential, but it's kind of a pet peeve of mine when people say Raspberry Pi killer, because every single article I ever see about the Tinkerboard or other boards, like I think it was Udo had a new board come out recently, and there was like, is this the Raspberry Pi killer? I was like, are you on a search for the Raspberry Pi killer? What is going on? Yes, the colored header pins. Honestly, if there was one thing that I would say the Tinkerboard does kill the Pi on, it's I love this feature that they're color coded. That is choice. That's honestly why I use these cases from Pi Maroni. I'm blanking on the exact model. The coupe. They're numbered on the plastic. Let me try to get it close. Come here. It's numbered, so it makes it a lot easier. That's my favorite case. This autofocus is nice. It does sound like a bad horror movie. Oh, I should propose the dude I'm using the space from a Sheldon-like contract. I can't complain because I'm not paying anything to be able to use the space. It's a little, so I can't complain. It's just a funny dude. But yeah, this is the light housing. Right now, this is just it's plastic. It's plastic, and I'm gonna cut out this for the wire to go through. Harriet keeps running by us, but she's just ever so slightly out of frame, which is a shame because she's an adorable little cat. Laka's still lacking. Yeah, I can see that. Have you tried other consoles beside PSP? I know PSP is kind of like a harder one to emulate. just because it was one of the higher powered consoles, so more stuff has to be going on in software. I ran one N64 game. It worked really well. And I mainly emulate like SNES and Game Boy games because those are like my favorite games. And that worked really well. Oh, nice. Yeah, the Sega emulation always, anything above Genesis always seems to have a problem, which is too bad. Yeah, the RetroPie build also looks promising. A lot of bugs. See, that's good. Like, for the PlayStation and the N64, like, because that's the thing. Like, if you do N64 on the Pi, you're not gonna have a good day. And that's like where I see the strength of the Tinkerboard is like doing that more like kind of specialized stuff. Because I think a lot of people, when they think like emulation, they want to do like the more like retro stuff. Like the N64 stuff's cool. Don't get me wrong, that's one of my favorite consoles, and I want to emulate it. But yeah. Also, I think the other thing with the Tinkerboard is it doesn't have those like project examples, and I think it would be cool to see like this has the ideal kind of setup and specs for like an audio server, stuff like that. And there's a new Tinkerboard S coming out. I do wish they'd updated the system on chip, but it's the same. But it has some updated features that could make the audio stuff a lot nicer. I am going to be doing a lot of stuff with the Tinkerboard coming up, which I think is going to be really cool. I think it's a good little board. I just think it had not the best intro to the community. I think now it's starting to pick up. I mean, I think Asus is a good company and they have a good team working for them. So like, I think eventually they'll get it. It's just that learning curve of getting into a new kind of platform and learning curves that goes with. Yeah, server. That's another thing with these. These are great for servers. Like, it just has that slightly extra juice over a Pi for these, like, specialized things. I think it's Soda Pi. Let me look up real quick on my other screen. There is a lightweight OS that you might find to be helpful for running a server, so it won't take up a lot of space or storage. Let me just quickly, I'm just gonna go right over there. For those that joined a little late, I'm streaming from the other side of my apartment from where my computer is, so it's a little wonky, but I think it's going decently rather. Diet Pi. It's called Diet Pi. It's a bare bones. Yep, you knew it. I was thinking like Diet Coke. I think their logo has a can, so I think that's why I was like Soda Pi. But yeah, Diet Pi. So that was a fun detour. So let's get back to the light real quick. Got the housing ripped out. Am I back? I don't know what happened. I hope I'm back. Oh! It was like a much lower stakes Apollo 13 moment. I have no idea what happened. Like, straight up no idea. Huh. Hi! Alright, just crashed. I don't know. Sweet. Okay. So I don't know where it exactly stopped, but I was kind of talking about, now the light's all apart, what the next steps are, and that is, oh, how to focus that? There we go. Getting the lamp wire onto these solder pads here. And then when I put the board back into the light housing, I'm going to Dremel out a hole and the wire will kind of snake through. And then got a DC barrel jack that I can solder into the lamp wire, and that'll make the light, and then we'll have it. Do you do teardowns and such on stream on a regular basis? I am hoping to. This was kind of a dry run, mainly because I've torn down one of these lights before, and it's been on my to-do list to do a second one so that I can have two that run off the wall warts so I don't have to worry about batteries. But yeah, that's the plan. I want to do some like retro gaming teardowns, mainly a lot of like GameCube hardware, because GameCube, unpopular opinion, it's my favorite console of all time. I love it so much. I think just because I was in like late elementary school, junior high when it was out, and that was like my prime gaming years, and it really, I love it so much. I love the games for it. I think it, like Sonic Adventure 2 Battle, Super Monkey Ball, Super Smash Brothers Melee, yes, there you go, and Animal Crossing, oh my god, and then like some like lesser known ones like Donkey Konga. That's one of the things I want to actually tear down, is the Donkey Konga controller. Actually, it's right over there, let me grab it. Mainly because I've always wanted to know what it looks like inside. So yeah, I don't know if you guys ever played this, but it's ridiculous. Zoom out. It's just a ridiculous rhythm game, and I just kind of want to tear it down and see what's going on inside, because there's these little definite like actuator things. I don't know if you can hear them squeaking with the mic, but I really want to know, and I think it'll be pretty easy to get into. Like there are these screws here, and then I think we'll be able to get in kind of that way. Like it looks like it's possible, so definitely want to do that. PS1, yeah, that was a good console. I didn't have one, but my next door neighbor did, and that was a good one. Precursor, yes. Actually, Guitar Hero is why I got a PlayStation 2. I wanted to play it so bad, and I got the slim version, and I was at Target, and it was supposed to be like $60. This is back in like 2001, 2002, around there, or maybe a little later, early 2000s. We'll keep it at that. And I'm going to check out. It was mismarked. I got it for $20. Greatest triumph of my life. Not really, but it was pretty sweet. But I also love Guitar Hero. I might maybe take apart a Guitar Hero one. I was so pumped when Guitar Hero came out for Wii. That was choice. It was clutch. I feel like everyone was always like Rock Band versus whatchamacallit, Guitar Hero. I mean, Rock Band was okay. I liked the style and kind of finesse of Guitar Hero a bit more. The only Rock Band I will say that's awesome is the Beatles one. That one's sweet. Like the animations, everything, they did a really good job with that one. Not sure if it's drums or a beer barrel. So I think it's supposed to be like the the barrels that Donkey Kong jumps over in like Donkey Kong Country and stuff. But you know, did we ever confirm what was in those barrels that Donkey Kong was jumping over? They do look like beer barrels. What's cool about these two is like, is there a Google neighborhood hangout tonight? I'm not sure what that I'm not sure what you're inferring. It would be cool to do an accordion Weird Al songs. That's funny. One other thing about these and why I also want to like get into it is it's not just the conga part. There was also a clap. You had to clap in between, and there is a tiny little mic right here, or you could tap on the side of the congas, and either one would actuate it. So really, like, there's a lot going on in these, and it was the early 2000s. Like, it's pretty impressive. So that's another reason why I want to break into these, but not break them, because I really like this game. I still have, me and my friends still play it because it's just a good party game. I wish I had a second set of congas though. That would be good. But yeah, I think that's all I've really got. Tear down the light and chat about some projects. Yeah, when I finish soldering up the light, I will post it on like social medias, and show them side by side. I think I am going to try to model in like a quick 3D printed kind of frame for the hole I Dremel out. I think that'll be good. But yeah, that's going to do it. Thank you guys for joining me, and thank you for standing by that weird technical difficulty. Appreciate that. Yeah. More streams will be coming, and I know that if you watched my last stream, I said that the SD card video was going to be up midweek. Obviously that didn't happen. I do have the data. My plan actually tomorrow is to whip that video out, because I've got the charts made. I've just got to record a quick voiceover and some B-roll, and we'll be good to go. The results were curious, to say the least. Like, weird stuff I can't quite explain. So that'll be good. But yeah, good call at night. Thanks again, and I will see you next time. I tried to do like a fun transition while I was waving. It didn't work, but good night.